Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Do this, man. Let's do this. Booyah. Booyah, Johnsons. Booyah. How are ya? What is the goings on? What is happening? We're back in the house. There we go. We good. We good. Hey, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to it. Someone's in here. Tripping, man. What's up, y'all? What's going on? How y'all feeling? Okay, if you're new to the show, my name's Tim Black. I'm the host of this show. There will be no one else here but me. Hope that's okay. You know, because this is what we do. It's Tuesday, so we open up phone lines. So let me put the phone number up. This is the phone number. What? 319-527-6212. What is up, people? How y'all feeling? I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. That's right. I'm on Twitch, baby. And I'm feeling pretty good. You know, hope you guys are good. Hope all my Wolfpack, all my people out there, you know, all the Johnsons in the house. How's the mic? How's the volume? We okay? YouTube, we okay? What up, 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 what up? Feeling pretty good, feeling pretty good. What's happening? To all my Tim Black Wolfpack members, man, all my people on Patreon, all my people on YouTube, all my members of the Tim Black Wolfpack, thank you for being that, for doing that, for being a part of this thing we got going on here. What is up? If you watch the show tonight, you go, okay, this is okay. I can get into this. Doesn't sound like an establishment paid tool that's spewing crado Republican talking points. Sounds like an authentic human being with a point of view. And it takes callers. And you don't never know what a caller going to say. Yeah, I can rock with this. You know, that's why most people don't do call-in shows, because it can get away from you. It can get away from you. Yes, it can. So a lot of people don't do it, man. I think it's exciting. Because life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah, y'all. And that's why I like doing it, man. I think it's dope. Look, my 90s is coming out. That's dope. It's dope, son. What else? So go to jointimblack.com. That's what I meant to say. Tim, you have to tell people what to do if they want to join. Okay, it's $5. That's where it starts. Not a day, a month. Some people do more than that, but that's where we start. And that keeps this show going. And I hear a lot of, and it just so happens a lot of people like the show. So, monologue time. I like doing a little something. I miss performing live. Me and Lee Camp got a lot. I didn't like how things went with Lee Camp. If you don't know who he is, that's okay. Because I thought we were friends, but you learn these things, you figure it out. Oh, well. How well do you really know people? Then you're like, I guess I didn't know, So, to be that as it may, but I respect and I appreciate the time I spent on the road with this guy doing stand-up comedy. Political stand-up comedy. Wasn't up here talking about relationships. Wasn't talking about poo-poo and fart games. Politics, political, but funny. That's about Trump and Hillary and Bernie and, stuff like that. It was fun. So I miss that. So what I do on this show sometimes, or most of the time, I do what's called a monologue. Now remember, you gotta be kind, because there's no prepared script. There's no teleprompter. It's just me talking. And sometimes it's going to come across a little jacked up, but that's because my thought process sometimes is a little jacked up. You feel what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle is a genius. What? Oh, I got to keep my voice down. Dave Chappelle's a genius. Telling you guys, I got Luminary. It's a podcast platform. Give it up for self-taught artists. I got Luminary like a few months ago. And I like checking out podcasts. I like podcasts. And I didn't know that Dave Chappelle was going to have a podcast show on this site. I think that's the only place you can get his show. I think it's exclusive. Luminary, holla at Tim Black. I'll take my stuff right off of everywhere it's at in the podcast world and put it on Luminary too. For a fee. So I didn't know that Dave Chappelle was going to have a show on there, but he does have a show called The Midnight Hour. And folks, it is amazing. I mean, that boy good. That boy is good. Yasin Bey. Hope I pronounced that right. Philip Kweli. It's dope, man. These guys are just friends in real life. And they like talking about stuff, and they talk about different things. And I listened to the 4th or 5th episodes today. Dope, man. Dope. I don't know. Just want you to know about it. If you want to, let's check out something dope. And that's why I'm wearing a Nina Simone shirt, because he plays music in this podcast. An interview of Nina Simone. Then he played one of her songs. And it touched me so much, man. The song was so deep. And she was such a deep sister, man. She never got her respect, I felt. The U.S. government is garbage, man. The things they do. She was blackballed the hell out, for that song. She was political. Anyway, here's the thing. Check out that podcast. It's almost unfair that Dave Chappelle can be that damn good, man. He is excellent at his craft. It's like, no. It's like how Mike Tyson was in the 90s, Mike Tyson was such a knockout artist. sometimes I didn't like it because, okay, for example, I go over a friend's house. A group of us went over a friend's house, a mutual friend's house, to watch the fight. We get together, got pizzas and chicken wings and beers and stuff. And we were down in the basement watching the fight, like 12 of us, something like that. And I run upstairs to get some more ice. Why do that? Just like Tyson. I'm thinking it's the first round. I'm going to go up and get some ice. Y'all already know what happened, right? I come down, the fight is over. Mike done knocked the guy out before I can get the damn ice cubes downstairs. So I'm saying, like, you're going to be too good. Tyson was too good at what he did. That's Dave Chappelle. This is an unfair advantage, man. He should have to do comedy with half his brain. You know, he should have to do comedy with his mic turned down all the way. Something. You gotta give people a chance to compete. Come on, man. You got to, man. It's unfair. It's sort of like the way I do this show. I mean, I'm so good at what I do. I'm so amazing. It's like unfair to compare me to. They be comparing me to people because they black. They compare me to them. Like, what? What? You'll never find a show host like I. Come aboard. How I go from New Raws to the Love Boat thing. They're expecting you. All right, so look, guys. Hey, I warned you. I'm just going to say random things. Random things. Caitlyn Jenner should not be running. Just going to blurt out random truths, you know? Ron DeSantis is a moron. He is. People mad at me, but they're like, that's true. He is a moron. Okay, let's go. I'm like looking at things like, what am I talking about tonight? What's important? Now, we know we're going to talk about George Floyd, right? Got to talk about that. 1 year anniversary. Have to have that conversation. Must have the conversation about what's changed in America because everybody's talking like things are going well. All the changes that have been made. Now, I'm going to get to that, but first I want to do this because, well, damn it, Johnson, I hadn't heard this name in a while. And I'm like, okay. Jeffrey Epstein. Sting. Why do I do the Stein? Jill Stein, Epstein. It's the Stein of Sting. Jeffrey Epstein. Jill Stein. Yeah. I call it Jill Sting. Turns out 2 guards who were supposedly watching him because he was on suicide watch. Well, anyway, they got charged because they lied. They said they were watching them when they weren't watching them. Here's the story. Look, judge approves deal for Epstein guards to avoid jail time. Something going to do something like, oh, this is great. So they're going to tell us who killed this guy. Because I don't think this guy killed himself. And if he did kill himself, it was because somebody was like, you need to kill yourself. Well, I'm going to do it for you. That's always been my contention, man. And he winds up dead. Is there anyone out there who thinks this guy just killed himself? So I saw the title of this article. I said, oh, this is going to be great. A federal judge on Tuesday approved a deal that will allow jail guards to avoid time behind bars after they admitted to falsifying records about the night they were supposed to be supervising the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. Sounds promising, right? But no, it's not. This article is about these cops, these prison officials, prison guards, jail guards, Torres, in Manhattan approved the deal that Tova Noel, and Michael Thomas, reached with prosecutors last week. Instead of serving time, the two will serve 6 months of supervised release and complete 100 hours of community service. Noel and Thomas are accused of sleeping and surfing the internet when they were supposed to be watching Epstein on August 10, 2019. The night the disgraced financier was found hanging in his cell. They were subsequently charged with falsifying records, which was ruled a suicide, marked a major blemish for the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Why? Because somehow this world-famous case now goes untried. And all this information that we know he had, and all the people he had dirt on, goes away. And we're supposed to believe that this was just an accident. These guys are just goofy guards. Oh. Look, I don't buy this for a second, that these guys were just surfing the internet. I want to check their bank accounts. Come on, man. This was look. This is not the Alex Jones show. But come on, this guy didn't. No, this dude had everybody coming to his island. Clintons. He was friends with Trump too. I don't know if Trump went to the house. Clinton got on the plane multiple times. He just in the plane, I'm gonna go for a ride with Jeffrey. Hey Hilly, I'm gonna go over there, go for a ride with Jeffrey. Oh nothing, just hanging out. No, we weren't doing nothing. Smoke a little weed. Every time I was hanging out with Jeffrey, man, we just be hanging out. The list goes on. I think Gates was a friend. And you mean to tell me you want us to buy this BS? Oh, you just committed suicide. Everyone was watching this guy. His death sparked an avalanche of conspiracy theories, given Epstein's far-reaching connections to high-profile figures and lawmakers from both parties. Yeah. B.S. Johnson, B.S. Last update before we go to the George Floyd story, then we go to phone calls. I covered this story last week because, that's what I do. I cover stories most left channels don't do. That's right, because that's who I am. That's what I'm about. This young man, his name is Ronald Green. Ronald Green was killed by police in Louisiana. They lied about it. Said he died in an automobile accident. So slaves, built on returning slaves to their master. It's a horrible foundation for any type of public service. But the cops are all those things, right? But they found 2 tasers from, he was tased twice. So either they tased the dead man twice. We all think he was bad as Kim Potter, the cop, Minnesota, that couldn't tell her Beretta from her taser. What was the other way? Yeah. I don't know. Just shoot both of them. Well, they tased this man 2 times. Here's the thing about this story, man. This is going to be quick. This is sad, though. This is how bad it is. There's an officer that was caught on an open mic. Here's what the Associated Press released. In a graphic matter-of-fact chatter picked up on a body camera mic, a Louisiana state trooper implicated in the death of Ronald Green can be heard talking of beating and choking him before all of a sudden he just went limp. The cop confessed to killing a guy. They told Ronald Green's mom, everybody loved him, that he died in a car accident. Remember that. For living F out of him. That's what the officer said. His words. Cop says, I beat the ever-living F out of it. The trooper said this in a 27-second clip obtained by the Associated Press. I can't find the clip. I want the clip. It is the most direct evidence to emerge yet in the death of last year of Ronald Green. This murder took place in 2019. We're just hearing about it. Ronald Green was murdered by the Louisiana Police Department. Troopers, it was covered up by the higher-ups and everyone that was involved. And they're so dastardly, despicable, corrupt, conniving, sly, scheming, devoid of compassion, honesty, ethics. That this officer who incriminated himself, they wouldn't even come clean about this officer admitting to killing Ronald Green, even after the officer died in the car accident. Yes, this officer was one of the 6 officers that arrested Ronald Green. Yes, we finally got him in handcuffs. We choked him and everything else trying to get him under control. Apparently, in this part of a phone conversation with a colleague. We finally got him in handcuffs when a third man got there, and then the son of a B was still fighting him, was still wrestling with him and trying to hold him down. He was spitting blood everywhere. And all of a sudden, he just went limp. Lee Merritt, lawyer for Ronald Green's family, says, it's shocking that this evidence has been withheld for over a year. Here's the kicker, guys. The Louisiana trooper who faced firing, he got fired. His name was Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth, who was white, was the only one of 6 troopers placed on leave last month following an administrative investigation. The state police did not open until late August. He died in a single car crash last week, hours after he heard he was being fired from his role in the Green case. Even after the trooper's death, the state police have refused to comment on Hollingsworth's use of force, or say since he was accused of violating in Green's arrest. The agency still won't respond to questions. This is back in October. Folks, Ronald Green had bruises and contusions all over his face and head. His car was not totaled. His car was barely damaged. They beat this man to death and then pressed him out, smothered him, choked him out until he died. Which brings us to back to reality about policing and about cover-ups. Ronald Green was murdered, just like George Floyd was murdered. So today, the Floyd family met with Joe Biden to discuss, I don't know. What would they do to discuss? I don't know. I have no idea what was the purpose. Oh, I know the purpose. Make Joe Biden look like he's competent. Make Joe Biden appear to give a damn. Is Joe Biden cared about the George Floyd Policing Act? I'm just have to pull a title of it. Justice in Policing Act and Accountability or something. He would be campaigning for it. He'd be out talking about it. He would be championing it. He's not. What's changed in America since then? Don't get me wrong, some things have changed. Not enough has changed. But some things have changed. Some things have been done. Half measures. When people say what has changed, we should know what has changed. Some people are very much content with just saying nothing's changed. They're half right. Seriously, you're half right. But if you want to be all the way right, hang in there with it. June 2020, Democrats of Congress introduced the Justice and Policing Act of 2020, a police reform and accountability bill that contains measures to combat police misconduct, excessive force, and racial bias in policing. Advocates and lawmakers have tried to pass police reform measures in the past, and their efforts received renewed energy after the high-profile killing of Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and other African Americans by the hands of police. As you know, the bill includes several provisions which aim to improve oversight, accountability, training, and documentation while placing restrictions on techniques like chokeholds and the use of deadly force. Now, these are all in the federal level. So Justice and Policing Act, George Floyd Law Enforcement Trust and Integrity Act. This is another bill. This is Ilhan Omar, Sheila Jackson Lee, Jerry Nadler, Jason Crow. The bill would implement national policing standards and accreditation, require agencies to share policing data with the Department of Justice, and make grants available for new programs that help departments recruit, hire, or increase oversight. It requires the Department of Justice to assemble a task force, oh God, a task force, Johnson, federal level. And these haven't passed yet. So that's why I said you're half right. You said nothing's been done on a federal level because these are not laws. Indian Qualified Immunity Act. The Indian Qualified Immunity Act is a police reform bill proposed in the U.S. House of Representatives by Justin Amash. Co-sponsored by 39 members of the House, the bill would remove the judicial doctrine of qualified immunity that protects law enforcement personnel from being held personally responsible for violating the rights of citizens. Introducing the bill, Amash said, the brutal killing of George Floyd by Minneapolis police is merely the latest in a long line of incidents of egregious police misconduct. The pattern continues because police are legally, politically, and culturally insulated from consequences for violating the rights of people whom they have sworn to serve. That must change so that these incidents of brutality stop happening. Now, this federal level, the only president in the last 5 years to do an executive order regarding police reform is Donald Trump. See, y'all going to have to excuse me when I say Joe Biden is full of it. I'm trying to watch my language a little because I heard that's part of the reason I have so much problems on YouTube. So every once in a while, I'm going to tone it down. But no one said I can't raise the volume because when I say both parties suck Johnson, I notice there are people now, there's more, I don't know, like I'm multiplying, coming out, they're kind of talking like me a little. They're kind of looking like me, and they're talking like me. Pay homage. Don't just look for help. Pay homage. I created this lane. When I say Joe Biden does not deserve ass-kissing, praise, applause, I mean that shit. Oh. How you going to have George family come up to the White House? How Al Sharpton going to take pictures with him? Nancy Pelosi just taking pictures with him. George Floyd sacrifice his life to get, I know it's so family, it was just like, oh, let it out of, I'd take the Kente cloth and burn it. George Floyd wanted to live his life. But how dare they do this photo op nonsense when Trump is the only president in the last 5 years? And I'm saying because I don't know, did Obama do something about police reform? I don't think he did, Johnson. Executive order on safe policing for safe communities. Now, I'm sure what Trump did was not great. But see, I didn't look for this. I did a search for things that have changed George Floyd. And lo and behold, there's a list of things on the federal and state level. I didn't even know this was going to be there. On the federal level, there's only 5 things, 4 of which are not laws, they're bills. The 5th thing on this list on the federal level that's been done since the murder of George Floyd, and everyone wants to say, oh, it's so amazing what they've done. It's amazing George Floyd has changed America. My goodness gracious, we are now going to make a turn to the better. This is what's going on. We are on the road to redemption as a community, as a country. We're going to be better. Our police is going to get straight. We're going to have better policing done, less deaths, less black people getting racially profiled and shot. And then I found the executive order on safe policing for safe communities. President Donald Trump signed an executive order on safe policing for safe communities, which calls for independent credentialed bodies certified by the U.S. State's Attorney General and provides financial incentives for departments which work to attain those credentials. The credentials would be based on criteria set by the Attorney General and should include a ban on chokeholds, except in those situations where the use of deadly force is allowed by law. See, this is bullshit. As well as policies and training regarding use of force and de-escalation techniques, performance management tools such as early warning systems that help to identify officers who may require intervention, and best practices regarding community engagement. The order also calls for creating a national database with information about instances of excessive force regarding police interactions with people with mental health issues or struggling with homelessness or addiction. The order calls for increased training, increasing the capacity for mental health professionals and social workers to work with law enforcement and researching community support models. It doesn't sound that helpful. See, we have these people that defend the Democratic Party to the peril of black people. And I'm talking about black people that defend it. They defend. We got black people, very popular. Everyone wants to go on their shows. A lot of people do go on their shows. A lot of people watch them. A lot of people work with them. And you know, hey, who am I to tell you where to go, what to do, what not to do, okay? I'm not saying it. But some of these people defend the Democrats, and by doing so, they throw us under the bus. But they have the veneer that they're championing for black people. How are you championing for black people if you're defending the party that's in power that can make the changes that help black people? You're defending them from criticism, and you're not telling the truth about what they're doing. Every, and I mean every entity that came on TV today, every entity that came on TV today that did not expose this shit, who instead chose to take the high road, which ain't nothing but lie road, they should be exposed. Start exposing, start pulling people, see what people's minds really are, see what they're really about. what they're about. Tim Black, TV, the Wolfpack, all these Johnsons, we're legit. We are legit. I know what, I don't have a problem with people not wanting to use the term defund the police. It's a hard sell. We're trying to get shit done. All I care about is the result. And the result is less money going into the pockets of police departments to be used to police. And more money being diverted to other means of making life better for people in those communities. Having less police as we traditionally know it, and having more mental health professionals, therapists. I think there's so much more that needs to be done. But I think it's simplistic as hell and lazy as hell to just say we should just go, that we need to fight over term. What I want to fight about is the outcome. Hey, I don't know if people realize this or not. I don't know where people been, but there are a lot of people. Until George Floyd, they really didn't pay much attention to us talking about police brutality. I know it's crazy, right? It's true. Take it from somebody who has the most diverse show in this political space, in this particular space that I'm in. There are people that was like, really? Not tuned into this shit? Because they're awful people who want to see all black people die. That's not it. It's real reductive of us to think that way. Some people just don't pay attention to other people. Some people just don't. I can't say I know what's up with the Filipino community. People live in their own bubbles, man. If they don't live around black people, they don't have close relationships with black people, they may not know a lot of shit. And then it's negative, and it's sad, and it causes anxiety to talk about. And when they do talk about race, they usually do it in a clumsy way and they get their head bitten off. So what I'm saying is a lot of people have been, that's one thing I would say about the George Floyd situation, and this is a travesty. But that video footage, that's Sister Darnella. With that footage, people saw that footage, man. And this wasn't oh my God, look at this random thing that happens very quickly, and you could kind of like give a cop a benefit of the doubt. Derek Chauvin is the poster child of all things wrong with law enforcement. This mofo he is the epitome of white supremacy of what it does to black folks. He's the perfect symbol. They all saw it. Only the hardest racist, detached widow could be like, no, he was okay. What he did was fine. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see what the Democrats have done about this. I mean, the film did it, not the Democrats. There are a lot of things that happened here. In a lot of states, there's some things that happen. On the state level, there are things, Arkansas, they signed an executive order to create a police task force to deal with police training, certification, and standards. This is bullshit. They want to study hate studies. Like HR 40. We can't get a date on the bill, a vote on the bill to study some shit. That's it. Arkansas is garbage. California did remove funding for some of their police. New police crowd control procedures for state banning the police use of carotid chokeholds. They got 9 key reforms they're trying to get done. Banning the use of chokeholds, requiring officers to de-escalate situations, give verbal warning before using force. That would have saved a kid Bryant's life, maybe. If the officer would have said, hey, I'm going to shoot you. That tends to chill people out. Instead of, blah, 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 blah. They banned the use of tear gas. They're attributing all of these changes to George Floyd's death. Los Angeles, they cut $150 million. That's it, from the Los Angeles Police Department budget. A reversal of his planned increase of $120 million. Garcetti announced the funds will be redirected to community initiatives. New reporting requirements. Whenever a police officer points a gun at a person, now they got to be just pointing the gun. That's shooting the gun, but even if you pull it out. The department would also require SWAT teams to activate body cameras during tactical operations. What? That's not a requirement already? Why have a body camera if they don't have to wear it? There's a lot. There's a lot here, guys. Atlanta. Let's go to Atlanta. On June 15th, Keisha Lance Bottoms announced a series of administrative orders of police reform, including requirements for reported deadly force and for training and use of de-escalation techniques. Yeah, I'm not really that excited about this shit. It seems like every state did as little as humanly possible. I wish I had more to tell you. I wish I could say, ooh, look what they did. And then, look, see, I'm one of these people who would love to be wrong about this. I want so badly to be wrong. I do. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. They don't give a flamingo. Wish I had more to give you on this. I don't. I would gladly eat crow here and say, oh, my God, the Democrats are really killing it. They're doing great. They're amazing. They exceeded expectations. They're doing so much. But I'm not going to lie to my audience. That would not be wrong. That would be a freaking lie. Okay? Sometimes I'm wrong, but I'm not going to lie and tell you shit's better than it is. It's not good at all. I know they did a couple of things with banning the no-knock warrants. You know, like those things are good. That was Breonna Taylor, though, wasn't it? Rest her soul. Rest her soul. Louisville. That's it. The Breonna's law to ban the use of no-knock warrants. Requiring police to turn on their body cameras on before carrying out a search. The law is named after Breonna Taylor, who was killed during a no-knock search by police in Louisville on March 2020. So, I'm going to leave it there, guys. It's a slap in the face. It's all a big slap in the face. To do, Johnson, is we must continue to push Biden every way possible. Every way possible. I really like the way Nina Turner has framed this on her website. Her police reform is framed very nicely. I think what I want people to try to understand is that you and I, we get it. You know what I'm saying? You and I get it. The language, we don't give a shit about the language. It's the outcome. But when you're trying to reach people who don't share your views 100% of the way, sometimes you have to use certain language that doesn't trigger them to run. So if at the end of the day, we're still trying to achieve the same thing. And if you don't believe that, then that's a whole nother conversation where you just don't believe a person. You just have no trust in them. But I believe there's certain ways you have to phrase things for some of these blue dog situations where people are more comfortable with other ways of expressing policy. But I think at the end of the day, as long as the policy that you want to get done gets done what we need done, I'm with it. Because I understand when you're talking to people, sometimes certain words trigger them. We need advocates. We need advocates. I think it's, you know, and I know that Hillary Clinton, she took the mothers of slain children, black mothers of slave children on a campaign trail with her. I thought that was despicable as well. I do hear people say that the Floyd family came for a good reason. My contention, guys, I'm sticking with it, is if people were really serious, when I mean people, I mean like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I haven't heard Kamala Harris on this shit. Where's she at? Where's Kamala? Said they only voted for Joe Biden because of Kamala. Where's she at? Oh, you're surprised that the former Attorney General of California, who locked up more black people than slavery, who kept people in jail in order to get free labor out of them, or very reduced labor at, what was it, 20 cents an hour, some crazy number? Huh? Even when evidence was compromised, she didn't want to throw those cases out, mess up her stats. The one that last, when we talked about build more schools, less prisons, they just joke, mocked it. You're surprised that she's not out leading the charge for police reform? Why aren't they asking where it's Kamala? Like, all these people, all they did was champion for Kamala and Joe Biden, and to tell the world that people like me were just rabble rousers. What that guy say? You don't listen. Tim Black doesn't listen. All he does is complain. You should be complaining right now. If you're not complaining right now, if you're not angry right now, if you do this job, or if you're not angry right now, you know what's going on, you're not angry about it, I mean, come on. You sold these people a bill of goods. You should be livid. Livid. You should be angry as hell. You should be breaking stuff. That's what you should be doing. They lied to you. I'm not going to do anything for black people. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to do something special for black people. No. I'm not going to do that. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. No. Remember that? You don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black. Remember that? But if they don't get this police reform done, if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ain't out there pushing for it to get done, if he ain't willing to deal behind the scenes, making phone calls, cutting deals like he said he would do, Joe Biden does a lot of kissing ass of Republicans trying to get bipartisan or whatever the hell. We got goofy-ass Tim Scott working on this legislation. Who invited him? Why do you need him? Joe Biden should be leaning on these fuckers to get this legislation done. He don't want it done, John. Jim Clyburn and Joe Biden are very happy with not having qualified immunity reformed. All right, that's it. Go to campaign. Go to campaign to endqualifiedimmunity.org. I'm a supporter of it. I'm on the website. All right, guys, that's it. I'm a little long-winded. I'm pissed. What I don't like is, see, I know what it is, man. Like, I've been hearing a lot of talk about a lot of people online. This is just a side note, that's all. I hear a lot of talk about people that really dogging out the Democrats. Here's the thing, man. The solution ain't Republicans. I'm down for dogging out Democrats. But these dummies, these airheads, are talking as if the solution is the Republicans. That ain't the solution, dummies. Those people are morons. You're a moron if you're saying that. Like I was listening to what he was. I was listening to this guy. I was like, oh, okay. Then he like complimented Candace Bixby, and I'm like, what the hell? Oh, this is one of these. Oh, this guy's a moron. Oh man, I almost was like, oh, this guy's interested. He's bigging up Candace Bixby. He's never a person who blames black people for their own plight. Blames black people. Most the dog and degraded people in the country, he blames them for their own situation because his ass to play basketball. Shut your ass up. You are a moron. Okay? You don't know anything. That's what I got to listen. That's what people been listening to. This guy, God, man, what a letdown. When people take no time. You thought the George Floyd policing act, and I know I'm truncating it, has no teeth. You should see what Tim Scott's bill was like. The one he introduced. He was crying. The Democrats didn't want to get done. It had nothing in it. It was basically a marriage proposal to the cops. Okay, so as bad as that bill is, realize they don't even want to give us that much. You know what I'm saying? It's like making minimum wage, and they got to pay you minimum wage, and they're mad about that. They're like, oh, man, I got to pay this guy. So I really got to pay you? They're going to pay you. That's what this bill is. And it's so bad, it's so sad. Unfortunately, this is the only country we live in. So we have to deal with it. Guys, fight some more. Make as much noise, make life uncomfortable for them. All right, guys, that's it. Let's go to phone calls if anybody's still out there. A year later, it ain't better. I saw a report by The Economist that said things are worse. And that's what I was thinking was going to happen. You think cops like other cops get checked? No. You think cops are jumping up and down? Yay, Derek Chauvin got convicted. No. Maybe only the good ones. Police and civilian relations are worse. Well, particularly black civilian relationships with the police is worse. Okay? Okay. Let's do this, guys. We good? We good, guys? All right. Phone lines are open. All right. We'll do what we can. I got a 6. Oh, looks like this person is hanging out. Let's go to 252. 252, you're live.
Hello?
What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. It's Kira from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay, Kira, what's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to apologize for last week. I had fell asleep when you called me the first time. It was a long day. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But,
no problem.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I said no problem.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. When you talked about, accountability, you talk about how Democrats didn't change anything. This is nothing but straight facts. I just can't understand how, with everything going on, people can be sitting here still defending Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? I hate electoral politics so much now. I'm so cynical about it. It's crazy. Like, if you look at my Twitter page, all I do is just be crapping on Democrats because they get on my nerves so bad with the virtual signaling, and nothing fruitful is coming out of voting all of these Democrats in. What was the point? It just kind of feels just like useless trash to me. At one time I was thinking about running and being a part of that whole system, and now I can't see it. I can't see it because at the end of the day, with everything that's happening, these people have basically been neutered, and they can't talk about real issues, even though the people who campaign on these alleged real issues aren't doing anything and putting nothing behind what they claimed. Joe Biden just came out and said, oh, well, we got to scrap the public option, which was the basic universal care form that was being proposed in the U.S. Like, even Pete Buttigieg's rat ass was proposing a public option. And Joe Biden can't get it done? Mr. Compromise, Mr. Bipartisan man, you can't get this passed for the American people? It makes no sense to me. And the same thing with student loans being taken off. They're not cutting anything. You know, at one point they were saying 10,000, which was trash anyways. Then Chuck Schumer says, absolutely, we're going to make sure you vote in Joe Biden. We're going to get 50,000 cut off, or we're going to try and get, you know, student loans totally taken off. And it's just like, They just slickly just slid that in there, you know, right in here with all this crap that's going on with Israel and Palestine. You know, we're not going to, you know, have it in the budget to, you know, take care of these things, which the American people desperately need them to handle. You know what I'm saying? We can't count on them to handle anything fruitful that we need them to handle. And it's just getting to a point where I'm just like, where is the light at the end of the tunnel? What can I do in my just in my little bubble, in my little community, to make things better for people in general? It's becoming such a nerve-wrackingness. I have to kind of step away. I step away for long periods of time because I just can't deal with the bullshit that's coming from the people that's supposed to know what they're doing. It's just the lack of management, the lack of care from the people that are public servants. It makes no sense. How do we as a people continue to be subscribed to this? And us as black people being such caring and compassionate people, how do we continue to subscribe to this one party, and then when they get in office overwhelmingly by our votes, disregard our lives, disregard anything that matters to us? Healthcare, overwhelmingly, who's that going to benefit? Black people. Student loan debt, who's that overwhelmingly plaguing? Black women. It's just like, when you have these people tout and say all the time, you know, black women are the backbone of the party, it's just so disingenuous that when you get in office and you're supposed to represent your constituents, you conveniently leave black women out of the equation. Not just black women, black men as well. You know what I'm saying? Our black sons, our black fathers, our black husbands. It's just, it gets to a point of just, at what point do we start holding them accountable? Because that's the issue. It's not even about them not doing what they said at this point. It's about, why do we keep sending these people to speak on our behalf if they're not going to do what we're asking them to do? The one thing that we expected from the very beginning was criminal justice reform at the very minimum, because of this George Floyd case, because of what happened in Minnesota, and because of what's still happening in Minnesota. Hell, they're still killing people. It seemed like, you know, when you pointed out that it's not gotten better, it's gotten worse, that's true. There's actual statistical data that says that these cops really are killing more people, unarmed people at that. You know what I'm saying? People that are not knowingly not a threat. And it just gets to a point where I have to just start looking at, you know, the voters. What are you going to do with your vote? Why are you even still voting for these people as they continue to systematically kill us and dwindle our numbers and mistreat us when it comes to education and healthcare and all these other things? Why? You know what I'm saying? It just gets to a point of just straight cynicism for me. I'm sorry. I don't have nothing fruitful to say about this. It gets on my nerves that we as a people can't look at each other and hold each other accountable enough to say, this might, you know, fall at our feet and we got to start trying to correct the course. I know that in voting for Joe Biden, that was us trying to right the ship from Donald Trump. But at least Donald Trump got the first step at going. You know, the first thing you would think with Joe Biden is he would have got the second and the third act going behind it. And it's just like, there's nothing. You're not going to cut police funding. You're sitting here, you're inviting this man's family to the White House, and then you can't even get a bill that you put in his name that was trash, passed. What are you doing? What is this? I just cannot understand the logic of continue to blue no matter who. You know what I'm saying? And it really makes me upset because I know that, people like Nina Turner and people like Chrisette Oliver, they're not going to win as running as independents. So I know why they're running as Democrats. But it's just like, it also makes me, it's fearful for them because are they going to lose sight, like so many others have, of what they need to be doing because they get under that envelope and they get neutered. And it's so disingenuous to the people who finance these people, to the people that go out and take the time and vote for these people, oftentimes at the loss of wages, standing in long lines because they sit here and they allow our rights as voters to be violated to such a degree that we can't even go vote for politicians without losing wages to take care of our families. And it's just like, at what point are we going to have enough? You know what I'm saying? I would love to get some feedback from you on that. I know that I was long-winded. I'm sorry, but I'm just feeling very cynical, and I would love some light, some hope to come out of all of this. Thanks for letting me speak.
Damn it. You got it, Kira. Thank you for calling up. That was a great call. A lot of people agree with you. I know that. I'm not looking at my comment section. But a lot of people, I know they agree with you because it's frustration, it's anger, it's calling out the establishment for not doing its damn job. And there was a time I would push back at you on this. My job is not to demoralize people, you know what I'm saying? But here's the reality. Most people don't vote. Well, almost most people don't vote, right? Half of America doesn't vote, so they're already where you are, right? That's the thing. So you say, why do people vote for these people? A lot of people don't vote, Kira. A lot of people don't get involved with politics at all. Now, there's a lot of reasons why you vote, though. Because, your sheriff, your judge. There's a lot more things on the ballot than just the general election. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more reasons to vote. There's things being done locally. When they was putting this casino in here. Other issues they passed here in Maryland that you got to go there to vote. You got to be a part of it if you care about what happens in your state. But, I'm not going to push back and say, there's nothing, there's nothing great I can say. It's a system that's garbage. It's what it is. You say, why do black people vote for Democrats? Why do white people vote for Republicans? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What are they getting? Why do people in one of the poorest states, Mississippi, some of the poorest states in America are red states? They vote for, you think the Democrats, the corporate Democrats are bad. They're similar to Republicans. They're totally sold out to corporations. And they own the red state. And that's where the poorest people live. And they vote against their interests every time out. Right? So, why do they do that? Because we have two parties. And they use social issues to influence the masses. Right? So, the evangelicals, for instance, they use abortion law, same-sex marriage. They use bathroom issues. These issues that are hot buttons for some people to get them to vote Republican. With Democrats, they tell Democrats, particularly black folks, they tell us that, Republicans are bigots. They're racist. They don't like black people. They don't respect black people. They are horrible. So, and that's a button issue for us. And based on our history in this country, which I know I don't have to explain to you, kind of an important deal when you've been disrespected for 400 years and counting in this country. If you believe that party is led by people who don't care about your issues or care about you or don't respect you. So there it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I will push back, man. But it's really nothing to push back on. I would say, but as far as you running, I think there's a level you get to. Don't get me wrong. All things politics, people play politics. That's what's called politics, right? They're going to play politics no matter what. No matter what level you're at. There's going to be people doing deals, people looking for ways to create allyships or ways to get things done or favors. It's going to be always, I look at it like corporate America, where people fake it till they make it, and people play the game. You got to play the game and go along and get along. And it's always going to be a level of that. But I think it increases exponentially as you go up the level. If you start like at city council level, you start like in local politics, I think that's a good place. I think local politics is where you can be most effective. And I would want to encourage you to consider local politics. And, that's what I would do. As far as, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to go to the next call, as far as your frustration and your lack of, what's the word for it? As far as how you feel about candidates. You named Nina Turner, you named another sister. I think you said Christy. I'm not familiar with her, but he says you think they're great people or you think they could be great people or champions for the people, but you're not sure if they're going to become like other people or something to that extent. And my answer is you never know. I never knew a politician well. Like really, like Nina Turner, I've interviewed her several times. She's gonna be on the show this week. Oops. But I believe that she hasn't been playing a role this whole time. I believe she's authentically who she is. And I don't think that's changed. And that's why I feel the way I feel about the possibility. And I think leadership is important. And I don't want to put that all on her and say, hey, Nina goes to Congress, the whole world changes. I don't want to put all that on one person. The goal is not to let Congress change you. I do believe that Nina knows who she is. And I think some people forget that some people are pretty young and pretty green and totally new to politics and think all those things matter. And I don't know. I'm making excuses for them, but I just feel that there's a certain amount of wisdom and when people offer you shiny things, knowing that just because they offer it don't mean you need to take it. You know what I'm saying? And just because people want to give you a seat at their table doesn't mean that's where you should sit. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that makes sense. But I feel your frustration. I feel everyone's frustration. It's just I feel like my role is a little bit different. And I appreciate you saying you want me to say something redeeming. I don't know if that's redeeming or not, but I know it's a lot of us who are frustrated. And unfortunately, I don't reach enough people with callers like you to change those people who are thinking, got that stinking thinking, who are just falling in line. See, if I can reach more people, Kara, with callers like you, and with me being like this and telling them straight, we could help change the situation. But that's what the suppression is for. To make sure we don't get that big. And look at the people who get opportunities, people who don't talk like this, people who don't have shows like this. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll mess around, find out what's real. But thank you, Kara. I'm going to go to the next call now. Hey, 612, are you just listening to the show tonight? If you are, that's fine. Just want to make sure. 612.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Did you have a comment?
Okay. So, basically, my son just turned 13. I'm white. He's half black, and his father isn't in his life. And I just wanted to know, like, I don't know, do you have a suggestion as to, like, how to get him involved in issues that, I was listening to the actual broadcast. Okay, I shut it off now. But basically, I was just trying to see if you had any suggestions as to how to get him involved with, basically, like, African American or Black issues. Like, I am, like I said, completely white. His dad is out of his life, and I don't know how to basically, like, expose him to Black life. I'm in an area where, we struggle with a lot of issues with, I'm really nervous right now. But basically, I just wanted to know how to get my son involved in being able to learn about Black history. Period. Like, where, he goes to a regular American school where he learns about, the pilgrims all come together for Thanksgiving and this and that and whatever, and what everybody else learns. And it's like, I need to get him involved in, like, real life situations. And I just don't know what to do. Basically, he just turned 13, and I'm a white mom trying to raise a mixed boy, and I just need some advice.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for calling on. Let me see if I got some advice for you. Give it up for our caller. What's your name, caller? What is your name, caller? Okay. I'll just put you back on hold. Well, give it up for that caller. And okay. So here's what I would suggest. Right. First of all, your son is Black. Okay. He's Black, and as far as him being exposed to Black stuff or Black issues, he's gonna be exposed to it because he's Black. Now, if you want him to learn about his history, if you want him to know, to be proud of his history, and to be aware of his history, the library. Now, I know COVID-19 is out there, so not everybody goes to the library like they used to. I think it's important to buy him some books. Maybe get a couple DVDs or something, and let him kind of be exposed. Like, it's your job. Like, I have a 12-year-old, right? And we gave him the Diary of Malcolm X, or the autobiography of Malcolm X, at 12. Because he can't be walking around with his head in the clouds thinking everything is about Roblox and arcade games, video games. And to some police officers, they would think my son is the man. Tamir Rice was 12 years old when he was shot in the head. So this is the urgent. Don't sleep. I applaud you for calling up this show and asking this question. It's your responsibility. Your responsibility. Being a Black is a condition in this country. Look at it that seriously. You could die from it. So your job, if you love your son, is to get him educated. One way you do that is through books and other resources like that, movies on certain topics, and the PBS put out some great topics. what you can do is email me. Email us at clientcare@simblacktv.com. I will send you a list of books and movies that you can get him so he can learn some things. And even if he doesn't, and don't do this, listen, this is so important. Don't give him the option to do it if he wants to. This is important. This could be life or death. This could also be his development, right? Which is why you asked the question, oh, well, if he doesn't take to it, then no. You should have rules. He has to read a certain amount of time, a certain days of the week, or he has to watch this program. You need to make it an assignment for him to do this because it's that important. And once again, email me at clientcare@simblacktv.com. And we will send you that list. Give it up for this sister, y'all. All right. And I'm sure anybody else who has suggestions, feel free to throw in with the system and let her know what's going on, man, how we can help her out. 419, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's happening, Uncle Tim?
What's cracking?
Oh, man, I can't call it tonight. You know what? What I really wanted to talk about tonight, I really wanted to speak to black people, and hopefully everybody else listens in. When slavery ended, we had a lot of, well, not a lot, but we had quite a few black towns that were quite wealthy because they were workers. They were hard workers. They wanted to build up their own community, and they wanted to run everything in their community to keep their wealth in their community. And this is what I want to say to black people in particular. I understand the frustration, like the first caller, Kira. You know, I love to hear her speak when she calls in because she always drops some gems, you know. But the frustration at some point has to be with ourselves, where we not lashing out at ourselves as black people, but realizing if blacks were able to build up their own post-slavery, with all the laws, with all the decks stacked against them, there is no reason why we can't do the same thing today. We cannot. Look, I don't know how many years of politicians and voting we have to see to realize there is not a politician out who cares that much about black lives to help us in any kind of way. So, but we have to really learn, and this message right here goes out to any race that's struggling at this point. Go in your community and build your community up. Keep your money in your community. Generate that wealth in your community, because we cannot lean on politicians. We just can't. I mean, hey, black people have been killed and hung and murdered in all kind of ways, innocent black people for years. But now we have an Asian hate crime bill. There will never be a black hate crime bill. It's not going to happen. We have to protect our own. We have to educate our own in the house, and we have to worry about building up our own communities. That's the only way we're going to have anything. We have proven to be survivors, because with the deck stacked against us, we still here. We still pushing on. But we have so many people out here that's addicted to mainstream news to where they'll run out and support people like Joe Biden and the Kamala Harris as blind witnesses, not knowing anything about their background except that CNN and MSNBC told them to go out and vote for these people. Listen, all we can do is talk to people like that, and hopefully they understand. But to those that understand what's really going on, we have to be in our communities, and we have to be building up our communities. You can get land anywhere. You can get there are black people that live in the country with farmland right now. We have to start supporting our black businesses. I don't care if they charge more money. Listen, I don't care if they may have an attitude that particular day when you run into them. You have to go back and give these people a second chance. And you have to, and if you have to even talk to them and say, hey, listen, you can improve your business by improving your attitude or, get better quality of products, whatever it takes. But you have to start supporting the people in your community. We got to quit putting our money out here into those who don't give a damn about us, these major corporations. The only way you get people attention is to stop fucking with them. When you stop fucking with them, then they start wondering, well, where they at? So keep your money in your community the best way you can. Save your money. Educate your kids on the history of our people. There are so many things that we could be doing for ourselves that don't have to do anything with politicians. Get land, and I hate to say this, but it's becoming true as the years come along. But we're gonna have to stretch out a long ass bootstrap, and we're gonna have to pull ourselves up together, because that is the only way we are going to get anything in this country. We're not going anywhere. Black people aren't going anywhere. This is our fucking country. We built this goddamn country, so we gonna stay in this motherfucker. But if we gonna stay here, we gotta build our own shit up. That's the only way of survival with us going forward. Because I used to say maybe we gotta wait for the old generation to die off and things to get better. But it's younger ones coming in that think the same way as a Jim Clyburn or a Joe Biden. So you can't DC. We can't depend on that anymore. Like you said earlier, local elections, that's one thing, but we have to focus on building our own damn communities up. It's time out for the bullshit. Calling the police and all that kind of shit. But you see the results a lot of times. We got to self-police our community and build this shit up on our own. That's the only way to survive. That's the only way to be able to pass down anything to future generations. It's time out for the bullshit. We got to quit focusing on DC. Yeah, be angry at them because they not doing their job, but don't let all your focus be on them anymore. Because I've pretty much given up on DC politics and Congress and all that. Whether you a progressive or not, that's why I've never labeled myself to be a progressive or anything like that. Because the second you attach a label to your name, that label you attach to it, those people gonna fail you. I've never seen a progressive. I've never seen one. I'm hoping Nina Turner might be one, and if she get elected or whatever. But I haven't seen one come through DC yet. That's actually fighting for the people. So since they not gonna fight for us, we gotta fight for us. We gotta continuously fight for us. I don't care what it takes. But at some point, we have to wake up and realize that we are the only ones that can save ourselves. And I know people say that all the time, but the shit is just that real. If they can do it, once again, and I'm going to get off this phone, if they can do it post-slavery, there's no way we can't do it in 2021. Hey, Tim, Wolfpack family, everybody have a great night. Love you all. Be one.
All right, now. All right, now give it up. Give it up for the caller, man. Give it up for the caller. Oh, if it was only that simple. Now you make it sound so simple, bruh. Oh, it makes it sound so simple, man. I wish that was it. Look, man, you asked the question. You said, what's different now? We survived slavery. First of all, a lot of us did not survive slavery. A lot of us died. A lot of us died. So that's the first thing. Second thing, segregation. was good in some ways. Desegregation is part of the reason why businesses were destroyed. Other than, like Tulsa, Black Wall Street, destroyed by envious white folks who were racist, envious white folks. Didn't like that we own 30 blocks, 250 businesses, all black. Remember, that wasn't just pissed off white people from around the way. The cops, they had planes dropping bombs. But other than that, also, remember, man, segregation. Desegregation. Black people depended on black people. Black people, when you talk about black people spending money with black businesses, that was a requirement. You had no option. So that's part of the problem. Why we're not building up our communities the way you're describing it. The other thing that you're leaving out, man, and brother, but look, I still agree that you got a point. We got to build it. But please don't overestimate, or please don't underestimate the stark difference of wealth that we are dealing with. Black people have 1/10 of the wealth of the average white family. Black wealth, typical black family has 1/10 of the wealth of an average white family. For every dollar they got, we got 10 cents. I'm not saying it's impossible to overcome, but all these other groups that you're talking about that succeeded, they had government policies that helped them succeed. The New Deal. There's been no New Deal for black folks. And not even people that consider themselves, a lot of people that consider themselves progressive don't even talk about this shit. Because the audience doesn't want to hear it. This is a unique place. So I guess your point about progressives, not want to use that title, because why? You know what I'm saying? How frustrating it's been. I looked at a video today that I did with Dr. Sandy Darity, the Duke professor. We talked about reparations, H.R. 40. American descendants of slaves, the racial wealth gap. I had him on my show twice. Amazing brother. Amazing Dr. Sandy Darity. Amazing. I encourage everybody to go watch that video. And listen. Listen closely to what he's explaining. Brother, I feel you so much, man. I do. And I get it. Things you must understand. Everything can't be done politically. But believe me, the level of pain that black people are under in this country right now, brother, politics got to be on the table for getting this shit done, bro. You can't just be like, we're going to change it. There's certain things that need to be changed. Our water's bad. Our air is bad. You name it, brother. Name it. We're at the top of everything bad and at the bottom of everything good. Name it, brother. We have to have legislation that speaks to it. And I get your point, that we can't rely on politicians and as an individual, do everything you can. Look at me, bro. I'm not supposed to be doing this. Why not doing something like Eddie Griffin? Talk about conspiracy theories and tell jokes. Instead, I'm talking like revolutionary about politics. But I get it, man, and I agree with you that it's going to take more than waiting around for politicians to get it right. I think we need to do both, bro. We need to build businesses. We need to build businesses. That's why Byron Allen was trying to sue McDonald's for not advertising with black media. Also, don't underestimate propaganda. Why does yo? Corporate media is very sophisticated. Stop acting like people are just dumb and just walking around going, tell me how to vote. The media is excellent at influencing people. Excellent. Millions of dollars of propaganda are pumped into homes to mislead voters. Please don't underestimate that. Please factor that in as you make comments about people that listen to, who go along with this, just vote for Biden. They feel like they had two choices, not 16 choices. Two choices. Everyone told them the only person that could beat Trump was Biden. Told them that Trump was racist. What else were they going to do? A lot of people stayed home. There was two choices, yo. So I just want to remind people, also, the news doesn't cease. It's 24 hours. Newspapers, print media. It's even in our movies. Politics is in our movies. It's in our music. It's everywhere. Like, they're pumping certain messages to us all the time, bro. So I understand the frustration and how we get tired of people going along with this and going along with that. But recognize the people are good at heart, and they do want better. So I got to stand up for them a little bit because I know that propaganda machine don't stop running. I know it's my job to monitor it daily. And I'm telling you, that machine don't ever stop. And they're really good at triggering people, getting them getting them psychologically swayed. That's what happens, man. So anyway, I'll go next call. I appreciate you. 719, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? 719.
Hey, Tim Black. My name's Jonathan Masters, and I got a lot of. I'm from Colorado, and I got a lot of comments actually. I wanted to comment on the other callers first. So the lady with the black child, I was thinking The City of God is like one of the greatest movies I've ever seen, and it's got all black bodies. You also have the autobiography of Malcolm X. So there's a book and a movie that I think would be a good start for her child. So that's one. The first caller, I definitely resonated with everything she had to say. The student loans, the first, the First Step Act. Where's the second and the third? Where's the UBI? Where's the student loan forgiveness? Buttigieg, she's right. Buttigieg is for the public option. Probably Klobuchar was probably more progressive, but I just read the Tubmans. I think it's actually important for me that the Tubmans aren't going to come out till 2030, and I think the system is rigged against the working class. I think the system is totally rigged against the working class. Look at the Wall Street frenzy over GameStop. I mean, and so I got two ideas. She said she was thinking about running. Run. Yeah, let's get a person in there that actually wants to change the system. That's a good start, right? And a genuine, honest person, so that's a good start. Also, I think that establishing something outside of the system, like the Black Panthers, I think that's something. The system is, it's rigged, so you can't rely on it. So you got to rely on your own people, your own, friends and family and whatever. So establishing something outside the system like the Black Panthers, they were able to do a breakfast program. They were able to provide security. I don't know if they ended police brutality, but that's pretty courageous to go around following the cops just to make sure they're not, beating anybody in the neighborhood up. So I think that's those are two ideas right there. She could run, and she could start establishing her own systems and institutions. So. The comment I want to make is about Isaiah Brown. I feel like we need a slam dunk. We need a touchdown. We need to keep the winning streak going, right? So Derek Chauvin got a conviction. I'm not sure if that's justice. It's not justice yet until the sentencing, right? But that's a good start. That's a good start. That's a start of the end of the era of criminal cops. Could be over. Maybe we could actually weed the bad cops out. But Isaiah Brown, I don't know if you've actually come across this case or not in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. Isaiah Brown, and I was just going to read a couple of the details about this case because I feel like it's a perfect victim. Isaiah Brown's a perfect victim up there with Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner, Philando Castillo, Elijah McClain. So this is a slam dunk. This is a touchdown. This is, we want to stop police brutality. Well, this is the case to do it on. Isaiah Brown, there's an attorney general. I just wrote a tweet. Somebody's running for attorney general that was actually mentioning this case. But so far, a month ago, it seemed like, everybody, once the killing happens, everybody talks about it. And then
Jonathan, I've covered that story. I know you're talking about. The young man was killed, like coming to come home. He got a ride from the cop, and then the cop came back and killed him. It was crazy. But go right ahead, man.
No, I guess that's as long as it got to you. I think it was crazy because I feel like, could you have messed up any worse? Because they said that the cordless phone, the house phone that he was using, they thought was a gun. So that's worse than thinking a taser's a gun. You think a phone is a gun, and
right.
he was calling 911. So you couldn't have messed that case up any worse if you tried. So okay, since you already got that case, I guess rock on, man. I like what you do. Keep doing you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man, and thank you for reminding me. Yeah, that was horrible, brother. That was horrible shit, man. That was horrible, man. And you're right. It's you're right. We do need. See, that's the thing. We do need people to run for office. You know what I'm saying? I like this caller because he had a number of things, and you're right. I recommend it as well. The autobiography of Malcolm X, City of God. I forgot about that movie. That was a great movie. And they're like very interesting movies. I'm gonna go to the next call, man. But yes, let me go. Let me keep moving. Great call, good people. 6760. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what up, Tim Black? This is Steven from California. We talked before. Long time fan.
Hey, what's up, Steven? What's on your mind, brother?
Oh, man. Where do we start with these cats, man? Okay, so I agree with you on 99% of what you've been saying tonight. Everybody else, I mean, their heart is in the right place, but they're just shooting at the wrong shit. So, like, for example, the establishing a black community movement as sort of a shadow government or a pseudo government. Look what happened to Fred Hampton, man. That shit doesn't play well. Like, it's a great idea, but once it starts working, you become, you get on the freaking FBI's most wanted list, right? So, and that's essentially what we're trying to do with BLM, but that's already been, co-opted and lied about to the point to where they're working that same game of, let's make this a terrorist organization. You know what I mean? So we cannot give up on our government. Does it suck? Yes. But the solution isn't to avoid it, because whether you like it or not, politics matter. Politics are life and death. You people are living or dying based on how the pencil is pushed in D.C. And we know that,
Yeah.
The lady who needs a mentor for her 13-year-old kid, I'm actually in your chat because I'm part of the panelists on the Rancho Station. She can hit me up, and I can mentor that kid. I'm already doing it with my own son. But the solution is to get the money out of politics. You know it as well as I know it. The politician's job is to get elected. That's it. So it's like, why aren't they doing what they said they were going to do? Because their job isn't to do what they said they were going to do. Their job is to convince low information voters that they might. Meanwhile, collect donor money. That's it. So as long as they're still bought and paid for, as long as they're corrupt, we are fighting a losing game. And the only way that we can do it from the inside is to overwhelm them with people who can't be bought, like Nina Turner. That's it. But right now we just don't have the numbers, because right now the squad is intimidated by Mama Bear. I don't know if she's if Pelosi is giving out free fucking designer ice cream or what, but, you know, they're running behind her, you know, in a single file. And until we got somebody in there like Nina Turner who can tell Pelosi, I'm Mama Bear now, we still got a lot of work to do. But we can't give up on that. We can't set up a pseudo-government. We got to get the money out, and that's that.
Wow, Stephen, look, man, give it up for calling Stephen there. You know, and look, I get people's frustration because I get frustrated as well. Remember, guys, we didn't always do this show, and when I started doing this show, it wasn't about politics. So I hated politics, and I never trusted politicians. But as I talked about social issues and things that happen in the world, people who watch my show said, Tim, this was in 2015, 2014, 2015. Tim, there's this guy named Bernie Sanders. You should check him out. I said, don't tell me that. I voted for Obama. That shit didn't turn out well. I said, Tim, but this guy is consistent. He's been talking about the same stuff for 30 years, over 30 years. And it just kept at me. Finally, I started looking at old footage. I wasn't worried about what he was saying that much. I wanted to see what he was saying 10 years ago. Same thing. 15 years ago. Same thing. 20 years ago. Same thing. 30 years ago. Same thing. This guy's just so either he's a very lengthy, like the best liar ever raised, or he actually believes this stuff. So that's what got me started, man. But before 2015, I wouldn't be talking politics unless I was dogging politicians. And I didn't even waste my time doing that. So I understand people who are had it up to here, and they're like, screw this. I get it, man. I used to be you. But then I realized our problems are so big. You can't just write off politics. You can't just be like, screw, because there are things you can't do. There are things that society has to do for its citizens. You can't do it all. Like, you got to go to a hospital. You can't put out a fire in your house unless it's a sauce, a pan fire on the stove. You got to be able to call the fire department. Well, there are things in life that you can't do without politics, without government, that you pay for anyway. Get what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not corrupt, but that part I agree with Stephen on. Can't write it all. And it's not because this is such an amazing moneymaker. I did way better before I got into politics. People thought I was funny, interesting, a character. There's stuff we talk about that there people riled up on just issues that happen. I was good at that. When I started talking about politics, my number said, see ya. Talk about social issues, I end up on the Dr. Phil show. I talk about politics, I end up on the bottom of people's shoe. So anyway, this ain't a come up. Now, as things went on, and I kind of got my feet under me, and I said, hey, I'm going to create my own thing, the Tim Black Wolfpack. Give it up for the Wolfpack. Now we got a community. You know what I'm saying? Things turned around, things got better, but it took years. That took years. So anyway, guys, we'll go to the next call. I appreciate you, Stephen. All my callers so far. Let's go to 310. 310, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's up, Tim? It's your girl, Smart Sister.
Smart Sister in the house. What's up?
Oh, honey, hunty. I was just looking at that picture, the thumbnail you had for the call tonight, and it was about to. I threw up a little bit in my mouth. I did, because when I see what's his name, anorexic behind Al Sharpton. And then we won't even talk about Mush Mouth Crump and oh my God. It's just I can't take it no more. But anyway, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to what your commentary was on that. But it's such a cartoon. It is such a cartoon, and I am sorry. I'm with the sister earlier. You know, we just got to revamp and redo everything. Okay, black people suffer from intergenerational trauma. We've got to fix that first. Until we fix that, nothing else is going to ever change. Until we've dealt with all the trauma from our past, nothing's going to change because you're going to always have handkerchief heads and all these other folks keeping crap and always running back. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. What other thing was I going to say? Oh, the lady that called about her son. You can't wait till your child is 13 years old to now he's going to be black. I mean, I appreciate what all of you guys said in terms, but a book, a movie, whatever. If the boy that went 13 years not knowing he black or not identifying with black people, it's not until he done had a couple of come to Jesus moments, and which he will have, because I don't care how fair, how whatever he look like, he can run with his buddies. It's gonna be a moment when he gonna be a ninja. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to get him around some other men and let them try to help him or whatever, because you can't wait till a child is 13 to think you can teach him about life and teach him that he's black. If he's been raised white by you for 13 years, you know, and no offense to the lady, at least you trying to do something, but it doesn't work that way. And you should have thought about that before you even had a black kid, as far as I'm concerned. That's why my whole opinion on a lot of that stuff is real shady, because you don't bring a child into this world and you don't have the tools to do it, because there's some black folks ain't got the tools to do it. So come on. You know, at least we do have some experience. So she's going to have to reel that one all the way back and try to talk to her kid to see where he is, and try to put him in an environment, because you can't choke his blackness down his throat. He's going to have to accept it and understand it and see where he is and all of that, because you're doing a disservice to him. Okay? So that's that one. In terms of just everybody taking a breath and breathing, what I'm getting ready to start doing, Tim, is I'm revisiting Malcolm's organization, the Organization for Afro-American Unity. And I think that's what I think is, he gave us that solution right before he died. You know, he was assassinated the night that he was getting ready to present that organization. Okay? And he had just gotten back like the week before from meeting with different African leaders. So the thing is, we can't be scared. Just as the brother earlier said, you know how the FBI gonna come and do this and that. It's over for that. Either you're going to die for what you believe in or you're not. There's going to always be a game played all the time. You know, and we've got to stop subjecting ourselves and our children. I was just talking to one of my elders today. When you think about our children that had to go to school with the National Guard, you know, that till today still have a lot of mental issues. There is no way we should have ever put our children through that bullshit. Okay? Ain't nobody else had to do that. We still trying to beg to be a part of something that doesn't want us. And, yes, we can use politics, but in the same breath, you know, you're saying use the government to do certain things, but they only do those things when they are pushed in that position because of the money that they're giving politicians. These agents didn't ever have to go through nothing, and they got a bill. Okay, they're not so visibly seen in the political dynamics of things, but you look what happened. Look what they got. Why? Because it's the money that they control. Let's be frank. And here we are getting our ass killed, kicked, everything every minute of the day. Okay? And we've never gotten a bill, so we need to quit. You can separate. The Asian community separated. They're not all integrated in everything in this country. They could give less than a damn. But like I said, 3 of them get their ass kicked. They get a damn bill written for them. So, no, it's about pooling your money. If we pull back on that $2 trillion we spend and put it in on ourselves, to hell with all this, because you can buy a politician. That's what it's about, and it's going to always be about that. If we really think this shit is going to ever change, please. It's going to always be about money, and it's going to be always about who can pay for what, period. And we need to quit being in some delusional-ass world somewhere and understand it for what it is. This is a capitalist country, period. And if we can't get with it, then black people need to break camp and get the fuck out of here, period.
Whoa.
So I'm done. I ain't got mad now.
Go get smart sister, yo. I appreciate you. Hey, man. Yeah, you know, I didn't even talk about with John, who was it, Steven? The money out of politics, he's right about that. But I kind of agree with you about, dude, people tell me the FBI got me on. I'm going to FBI list myself, man. What you going to do, Johnson? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I am. Anybody stirring the pot is being watched. How they slow me down on every social media platform, everywhere. They slow me down on YouTube. They slow me down on Facebook. They slow me down on Twitter. And they stop me from growing on Instagram. Like everything. Everything. So that's supposed to be just. I know I got some haters out there. You didn't agree with this person, so you go to hell. Yeah, you really think every platform gives a damn about that person so much that I'm so down on every platform. I went to like 100,000 on Twitter. Goes 100.1 and back down, and 100.1 and back down. And it's a game, man. It's just what they do. YouTube as well. Look at YouTube. My numbers go backwards on YouTube. This is also, you can't be afraid about the FBI or the CIA or whatever, man. They're gonna do what they do. Just hope they got other things to do, because you can't change that shit. It is what it is. Spot Sister, wow, man, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave Spot Sisters alone. I'll go next call. 7, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Hey, how you doing?
This is Nelson Ortega.
Nelson, what's on your mind, Nelson?
All right. First of all, I want to say that we need Nina Turner. There's a lot of going around blaming and putting fingers on this people are not doing this, this people are not doing that. Some people are failing this and some people are failing that. And I feel that Nina Turner is definitely an answer to get certain things done, especially in Congress. So we definitely need her there. But another thing that I wanted to say is where are the people that are supposed to be pointing the fingers at Clyburn for helping that Biden get into office like that? I mean, he's also responsible for the fact that he's up there right now as our president, and I think we need to point the fingers at the right people, the people who are pushing this guy who is a do-nothing president. He keeps promising. He promised in his campaign that he was going to do a lot of things for the people. He hasn't accomplished those tasks at all. and he just talks and talks and talks and doesn't do a thing. So I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can think of is we have to continue to push for, like I said, like Nina Turner to get up there and hope for the best after that.
All right, Nelson. Give it up for Nelson, man. Thanks for calling in, Nelson. And I can't disagree
You're
with you. You know, I do support. You got it, brother. I do support Nina Turner's candidacy. You got it, brother.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. I don't think she's everything that we need done. Like I think we're both right. Like I think people say we need to do something ourselves, and we need to work with politicians. We need to work in the system and outside the system. The answer is yes on all that shit. Like we don't have to pick and choose, y'all. Yes. And everyone doesn't have to engage in electoral politics. No, you don't have to. There's a lot you can do in your community. There's a lot you can do in the world besides being involved in politics. So I don't want to send that message. But politics is one of the easiest ways to do something. I worked as a community organizer. I worked as a community activist. I wrote for a local paper. That's work. Job. It didn't pay anything, really. So, if you're going to do something like that, yeah. That I was directly impacting my community. Directly impacting people around me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yes. You could do that. And you could also vote. You can also support a candidate that you believe in. I'm not saying believe in everybody. I think it's a little heavy-handed to say everybody's garbage. No, the system is bad. It's sort of like policing. Not every police officer is a horrible police person or person. Every officer is not Derek Chauvin. Okay? Well, every politician is not Jim Clapper. Right? But the system, the same thing with the apple grove, forget the bad apples. The apple grove, the apple orchard, the soil, the way that they plant the apples, the fertilizers put on the apples. I don't even know if you fertilize apples, but you know what I'm saying. So that's part of the problem, and that's what creates bad politicians and bad policemen and bad everything else. Bad corporation. Kim Porter is a bad mofo. I'm not sure she is on everything, but Kim Porter, I was watching her dismantle one of these big pharma bastards, and I was like, this is good. This is really good. That guy looked like he had saw a ghost. So I don't buy into this everybody's saying. No, there's no absolutes, man. I appreciate the phone call, Nelson. I'm going to next call. 805, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo! My comment.
Yo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We need to go after the people on the top. People on the top are like the Mellon Scase, the Koch brothers, or the DuPonts. Find out who those people are and go to their behinds. But you got to go to their behinds locally. Start from the bottom. And a good place to go is make sure that your children don't get involved with the military. Keep your kids out of the military. Martin Luther King said, keep your kids out of the military until we get what we want. That was big part, about what happened to Martin Luther King. When he started talking about get your kids out of the military, don't let them get involved, that was a great big turning point for Martin Luther King. That turned everybody against him. Look out for your white community. Look out for your white community. You got a lot in common with your white community. Talk to your white community. Just make. You got a lot of common ground. Make common ground. Talk to them. There's tons of common ground. Talk to your white community and get yourself together with them and form a union with your white community and your Spanish community. It's all about community, and you're right. Start from the bottom. Start from city council. Start from your neighborhood, and work your way up. But you got to keep your eye on who the real villains are. The real villains are the Bezos, Melonsky, the Koch brothers, and all of them. Hey, you know what? I'm done, dog. I'm sorry. I'm done.
No problem, brother. Thank you for the phone call. It's hilarious, man. We got a lot of different types of people calling the show, man. My man was like, oh, okay. Man, I tell you, work with your white community. Work with them. Got common ground. Find common ground with the whites. Yeah. I'm one of those people that believe it's going to take more than just black people on their own trying to solve problems. It's going to take all of us working together to solve problems. That's why this show is inclusive. A lot of shows aren't. It's hard to be inclusive because that means sometimes people get their feelings hurt. But I think it's worth it. We can't just keep doing what we're already doing. 805-7, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, honey, it's Laura from Alaska. How is
Laura, what's up,
tonight?
sister?
Well, I've had a tough couple of weeks. I'm pretty empathic, and I've been a long-time anti-Zionist, pro-Jewish, and pro-Palestinian. Separate issues. All three are separate issues. I've been watching what's been happening in Palestine for too long, knowing that my government and myself, when I go out to work and pay my taxes and my federal money goes over to that nation that is a nuclear-powered nation and is getting away with all that it has gotten away with for the past 73 years, is because it's strategically to progress our assets and our ability to control the region. And there's an old tape of him where he said, hey, if we don't have them, we'd have to make one. So the sad thing is that what's happening in Gaza and Palestine so reflects exactly what colonialism is and always has been, right to the foundation of this nation. We are a colonized nation built upon the bones of my ancestors, built upon the backs of your ancestors, and the people who have strove to fight against this during the 30s of my grandparents' and parents' time, they forced FDR they forced his hand because we had all different political parties. We didn't have unions until everybody got together, and I mean everybody from across the spectrum got together and pushed that son of a bitch and said, hey, you're going to stop putting children in there. You're going to give us a weekend. We had strong unions then. Hundreds and thousands literally died in union fights because we pushed and they pushed and they pushed. I mean, I can remember my father coming home and having to not say a word, pull my mama down the side, etc. A lot of people worked really hard to push that son of a bitch for what we got. You know, we got Medicaid, we got air, we got Social Security. We ended up with a weekend, and you can thank unions for that, and the people, the coal miners, as well as any other union who died at that time for the rights that we have. Now, the spirit of those people came out of massive desperation of not just the crash of 1929 that decimated this nation's economy, but also the Great Dust Bowl. People were so desperate they didn't have any other choice but to join together. Communists, socialists, everybody pulled together, and they said no more. And they pushed that man, and they pushed him so hard he had to go to the millionaires and the billionaires and say, listen, if you do not give up 90% taxed. So basically 500, if you made $1 million, 90% of $1 million and $1, 90 cents of that $1 over that million went to the people. Biden is now not even going to go back to 35%. He's sitting at 24%. We live in an illusion made by television propaganda, as you said, by divisions that they help create within the systems, a fossilized system that has been dismantling FDR's bills ever since its inception. Now, when you look at Nixon was a son of a bitch, but he was hellaciously good on foreign policy. At the time, Ralph Nader pushed Nixon so hard, we got the EPA. We got environmental protection, OSHA, that protects you at work. All these great things, basically the Green New Deal of its day. When the CIA President Bush came in, and then Clinton, all of these guys all consolidated under a Supreme Court decision called Buck versus Vallejo. That was the precursor to Citizens United. What that stated was that corporations are people and money is speech, allowing for legalized bribery of our government officials. They spend more time separations. They don't have to listen to us because their bosses are the corporations. Mm-hmm. And the only way we're going to be able to break this system is break Citizens United's back. And that's actually not a hard thing to do. It's just got to get people as organized as they were for George Floyd, for Palestine, for all other issues that we've all gotten out in the street for. Remember all the pussy hats? Okay. Every state needs to come up with at least 1,000 people or less, and you push your state legislature to overturn Citizens United. 2/3 of the states is all that is needed to overturn Citizens United. So if you want to get involved in something political without having to run for office, without having to think about a dead end, start looking into organizing to go to your state legislature and petition to overturn Citizens United. As I said, it takes 2/3 of all the states to do it. All the legislatures in every state, 2/3 need to agree to it. And that is something I think is a tip of a spear that we could all get in on, because the Buddha's not in the neck of everybody. And yes, the black community is on the bottom, and I'm sorry for that. I've been fighting and watching. It's hard watching things roll out, and you know what's coming. They've already made laws against protesting pipelines. They've already made laws in Florida where that you cannot protest, and if you do, you'll go to jail. They're making laws right and left as we speak in every state. Like with the BDS movement, 78% of Americans live in states where you can't have a state job, a teaching job, a police job, or be a contractor unless you sign a contract that states you will not boycott Israel, that you're literally signing a loyalty oath to another nation in order to have a job. So in order to break that back, all the rest of the states who don't have that, because there's, I think, 27. The rest of us, we boycott those states' products. There's ways to do this if you just get informed and decide that, hey, this is the issue I want to take on. We got miners in Virginia, over 1,500 of them who have been on strike for over 1,500 for the last month or so. They've been on strike for their rights and their wages, and so support that. Do whatever you can. Find something within your area that you can do. But most importantly, we've got to break the back of Citizens United. And until we do that and break the legality of buying and selling of our politicians, it doesn't matter that 90% of us want Medicare for all. It doesn't matter anything of what us people want when the corporations are the ones putting money in the pockets of those people who stand and obstruct. So we have to break the bribery. We have to make it illegal, and it's going to be hard because we've got a Supreme Court that is stacked. So the one thing we really need to push is Biden to get more people on that damn Supreme Court. We got to build it bigger, and he's got to get rid of that damn filibuster. He's not going to do either. So we got to fight like hell. I love you guys. I know I went long, but really look into what you can do at your state legislature. Peel Citizens United. 2/3 of the states. That's all it takes. Put the pressure on. Keep the pressure on. They can't beat you up, mace you, or anything else for standing there in front of your state legislature with a whole bunch of signatures that from your state that says we don't want this anymore. Make sure you got call in your local newspaper and your local TV stations to show up and tell them what you're doing. Make them see it. And you know how that old saying says, if it bleeds, it leads? Well, they're pretty much figure that you guys got militarized police. Someone's going to show up. Some heads might get cracked. Well, if that's what it takes to get their eyeballs on the issue, fine. Whatever. But just sign up. Get people going. Tell them, hey, are you tired of these people not doing what you want? This is the way we get it done. And Citizens United, and make these people, tell these politicians, your local legislature, we will not vote for you. You will die at the stake because Republicans and Democrats both believe in getting the money out of politics more than anything else. So that's where we got to go as far as I'm concerned. And Tim, I appreciate all the support you've given me, and I'm still willing. I just had a hard couple of weeks. I finally got some decent home care instead of being tossed into an old nursing home. I won.
That's it. Thank you for the phone call as always, sister.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night, sister. Oh, Lord, as always, the wealth of information. She's an encyclopedia of what to care about politics, about the history of politics, about what's happening, about activism. She's a pillar. She's a pillar. 818. You're live, 818. What's your name? What's your comment?
How you doing, Tim? My name is Charles. I'm from L.A.
What's up, Charles? What's on your mind, Charles?
I wanted to talk about education. I heard a lot of people talking about education tonight. And one thing I want to say is education shouldn't start at slavery. There's a whole rich history black people have way before slavery. Teach and learn that, everybody in the wolf pack. It'll help us go a whole lot further than you think. And I don't know how you're going to have me follow Laura from Alaska. That's like the Jane Elliott of the wolf pack. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to do that? I thought I dodged a bullet, getting away from Smart Sister, but then you're going to hit me with Laura from Alaska. Thanks a lot. So anyway, I want to bring up another, Caucasian or melanated anemic person. and that's Mary Leakey. She's an anthropologist, a paleoanthropologist. That teaches the history of all people. Learn that, people. Please. Learn how we move. Learn how we came about this world. It didn't start with white people. Sorry to tell you. There's a great skit by Richard Pryor on NBC way back in the day where he did where he was going back to Africa. He went in the temple, and he found out all the history actually came from black people. And the white people closed him in the pyramid, never to tell that history again. I think that is an important story to tell because we're repeating that right now by not learning our history. And that's about it, Tim. That's what I listened to the sister earlier, and that kind of hurt for me because I'm a light-skinned brother, and that was, man, I have different colored people in my own family, so to hear that is very disturbing. Very disturbing. I agree with Smart Sister. It's very disturbing. That's it. Wolfpack.
Damn. Give it up for Charles, man. Wow, brother. Oh. I got another call in the queue. 808, you're live. What's your name? What's your
Yo, what's going on, Tim Black? It's William from Hawaii.
William,
man,
what's up, my brother?
You are killing it tonight with these callers. Holy Christopher, man. You got some wisdom flying everywhere, man. I got so many notes sitting in front of me I don't even know where to begin, but I'll give it my best shot. First of all, I'm just a blanket statement. There is no possibility of police reform without ending qualified immunity. You can change everything in the universe, but if you have qualified immunity, none of it matters. The qualified immunity overshadows every other change that you could possibly come with. Talking about working within the government compared to working within your community, and I agree with you, man. It requires both. But the problem is people have gotten lazy. People are on the internet and they think that's as far as it goes. They're on Facebook, they're on YouTube, they're on Twitter, they're on Twitch. And you don't have a voice on those platforms. You have a censored voice on those platforms. So as primitive as it sounds, it comes down to doing things face to face, hand to mouth. That's the only way things are going to get changed. It's educating each other in a community level, face to face, not on a computer, not in the Ethernet. It is about people being with people, educating people. And as far as our government goes, I agree. Nina Turner is an exceptional start. My goodness. And there are people in there that right now, like I think of, we always talk about Rashida Tlaib and AOC and the whole squad. But you know what? What matters for those folks, it's not our business to delve too deep into what they're doing. And I say this at a congressional level because they represent their community. And the bottom line is that if their community, who I know, at least for Rashida Tlaib, I'm from Hamtramck, which is in her district. I grew up there, and I've never had a representative I am more proud of than Rashida Tlaib. And no, I don't agree with everything. No, I feel let down sometimes, but she's in that community, and the voice that she is speaking from is for that community, and that's what counts. Because right now, we have a government, and listen, I'm not trying to give advice to black folks. I mean, I just can tell you what I'm looking at. We have a government that is willing to rig elections. elections. We have a government that's willing to punish and kill its own citizens, be it directly through police enforcement or be it through poisoning them with lead and giving them no drinking water. We have a government that is willing to sell out your neighborhood and kick you out into the streets and let you go find somewhere else to live because they no longer want you there. We have a government that's willing to, in mass, spread disinformation in create an environment where the brother was just talking about education and informing yourself. Listen, we all have this mindset because we've been told that this is what it is. We have this mindset, and I was listening to Dr. Cornel West the other day, so he gets me fired up, and then I go along that track. They tell us who the best and the brightest are. They tell us who the best and the brightest are. And I'm going to tell you, if Dr. Cornel West, in this mass media world, in this educational system, can be censored unless we're hand to mouth, face to face, all of us will suffer those same consequences. We have got to get together in public, face to face, in our communities, and start to put this together because brothers talked about earlier about James Clyburn. And I'll beat around the periphery on this one, Tim, because I don't want to get you in trouble. But they talk about this constant these election things that are going before the courts and blah 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 with Trump and all this. Man, in South Carolina, James Clyburn pulled off the ultimate banana in the tailpipe. I have never seen anything like that in electoral politics in my life, where he and the entire media outlets somehow convinced folks that if Bernie Sanders couldn't win South Carolina, Bernie Sanders had no chance of winning an election. And I guarantee you, every last one of them knew the other guy who couldn't win in South Carolina, and that was Barack Obama couldn't win in South Carolina. So you're going to somehow they convinced America, well, we're just going to have to go with Uncle Joe and see how things go from there. I just one of the biggest farces that I have ever seen in my life. And I'm gonna revert back for 1 second. Talking about we have to organize within our community. We need to take to the streets within our communities. I disagree with that idea. I disagree because taking to the streets within our own community and fighting against the cops within our own communities, what is that doing? What has that got anybody anytime? In my belief, I believe it to no extent. All that stuff. You want to start raising some eyebrows? You want to start making a difference? You want to make sure there's not going to be violence in the street? Kick all that to the burbs, man. Kick it all to the burbs. Those are the folks that we got to start opening eyes to, because those are the folks that are falling for the big okie doke right now. So we just kick it to the burbs. That's all I got for you tonight, Tim Black. I love you, brother. Keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for the phone call. Wow, William. I thought Obama won South Carolina. Did he win South Carolina? Oh, man. Well, a lot of energy, though, William. A lot of energy. And, yeah, I don't know if we can beat up the police, man. Police got military-grade equipment. I don't know if that's a good idea, Johnson. But, you know, people call up there, you know. I don't know about that one. 561. 561, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Ty Boogie.
Hey, Tim, it's Ty from South Florida.
What's up, Ty? What's going on, brother?
How you doing, buddy? I had a question and a couple of short comments. does DC statehood, what's the latest and where's it at? And what do people, I know you're down there in that area, so what do people think about that down there? And then I just want to say something awesome my mom did when I was a kid. We went to church every Sunday, but one Sunday the pastor passed out these books to all the youth in the church, and my mom took the book and wouldn't let me have it. And then I got older, and I learned that the title of the book was Capitalism is Godly. She recognized that as propaganda, and even if she didn't recognize it by the name propaganda, I feel very fortunate that she did that. And to that lady that's raising the mixed son, you're right. That kid is black. This is America, and it's awesome that she's trying to look out for that part of him and make sure he's exposed to that. And just to let her know her instincts are spot on. Trust your instincts. Just do what you know to do to raise him to be a good person, and you'll be fine. I think her instincts are spot on as a mother. And so just shout out to her. And then to respond to one of the callers said that Trump took step one, took the first step, pressured into having to do something. And I know that I hope it's not too extreme to say, but people were out in the streets pressuring him. They had to burn down a police station to get Derek Chauvin arrested. I don't think Derek Chauvin gets arrested without that event happening. He walked around, and after that video was released, walked around a free man, got to go home, and all of that. So I don't want to say that that's a tactic we need to be looking at taking. I'm not trying to endorse violence, don't get me wrong, but I don't know that he gets arrested without that happening. And it's I don't know, I just feel like that point, never gets talked about, that how important that was to actually arresting a murderer. When the system fails you so hard that you have to burn down a police station to arrest a murderer because the police aren't doing their job. I mean, that's the situation that we're in. And just on a little lighter note, before I get off of here, comedian Sam J. She's pretty hilarious. I don't know if you heard of her. I just watched her first. She got a new show on HBO. I seen her on a stand-up a while back, and I thought she was funny, so I noticed her again when she got her first episode out. And that's funny. She's a black comedian, and she's good. So, anyway, thanks for letting me have my time. Appreciate it, Tim. Bye-bye.
Cool, man. Good to hear from you. I don't think. Damn it! I forgot what I was going to say, man. I don't want to beat up on the ladies for the child. And a mentor would be good. A mentor. This should have been the first thing I said is, you find a mentor. Is there a big brother? I remember when I was a kid coming up, I remember hearing about big brothers and big sisters, where there'd be these mentors for young people. And it might be worth it. Definitely worth it. Get them some, get them into sports and a coach. D.C. constitutional amendment is not required. So there was something that was earlier. Constitutional law experts are weighing in with a new letter that seeks to demolish this argument once and for all. Congress should not avoid exercising its express constitutional authority to admit the Commonwealth into the Union. So, D.C. statehood just got a big boost. So it looks like it's going the right direction. I think D.C. should have representation instead of, what they have now, which is performative representation. So yeah, Sam J. I looked that up. HBO, huh? Interesting. Well, look, guys, looks like we got everybody in. Looks like a good night, successful night. Great calls. You guys put it down. Give it up to everybody who called into the show tonight. And I do mean everybody. Calls, great calls, man. You guys, amazing. Never a dull moment on the Tim Black Show, man. Kira, Jonathan, Steven, Smart Sister, Nelson, Laura, the great, Charles, William, Ty. What can I say? You did it again. So thank you for choosing this show. It's your show, and thank you. Hopefully people that were watching, new folks, you became members tonight. So we get some new members tonight. Look, come on, guys. This is not regular. But you get on this show, we don't get this everywhere. And I think I do a pretty decent job of, emceeing this performance, this show, this get-together of human beings across the world, through the internet, like giving it a comfortable, feeling. So I think we got a great thing going, guys. Let's keep it going. Go to Tim Black. Go to jointimblack.com. Join us on Patreon or Facebook or even YouTube. They all take a cut. I'm on Cash App. It's TBTV Media. So they all take a cut, Johnson. I don't think Cash App takes a cut, though. But, yeah. What else? That's it. That's all. Thursday, I'm interviewing Nina Turner. Yes, Thursday, I'm interviewing Nina Turner. It's going to be great. Give it up for Senator Nina Turner, SNT. And I will have a snippet of that available on Thursday night's show when I do my wrap-up, my update on the campaign. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. But that video will be put out this weekend. What else? That is all, man. Yeah, it's been a while since I had a guest. So the way to get back into it, we'll get back into it with one of the best, Senator Nina Turner. So I'm looking forward to it. And we haven't talked since she started her campaign. She hasn't been on the show since she started her campaign. So let's do that. What else? What else? Facebook, YouTube. We got one new member. I'd like to welcome Debbie Howard. What's up, Debbie? Welcome to the Wolfpack. What's going on, Johnson? We're very happy to have you join us. Also find us on Patreon. And welcome to it. We're a growing community. We got great people, as you can tell. And we do our best to call it straight. Keep it real. And also try to find some positivity. And I try to do all of this with a smile. Sometimes, actually, no, that was sad. Because sometimes I get upset. But everything's authentic. So thank you for joining. You guys ready? Let's go to Super Chat. Welcome back to Vagana Piranha. Who was Epstein's father? Who was Epstein's father? Rorschach? Mr. Carter? Tony Vermillo? It's a sad anniversary. Yes, it is, Tony. It's a sad anniversary. Big Rush. You can't force your son to get involved, but with all the technology, you can easily educate him on Black history. Booyah. Booyah. Nah, man. You can't just ask kids to do stuff. Like with my son, I got to be like, look, there's other fun stuff kids want to do. So you got to kind of like assign it. Because you can't allow your children to just be like, if I don't feel like doing it, I ain't going to do it. You can't allow that. No, this is important for his development as a human being. Got to have some roots. Got to understand who you are, how the world works. Gotta know a little bit about the world. And, public schools ain't gonna do it. That's the thing. People he goes to public schools, but she knows the public schools ain't gonna teach him what he needs to know. That's a damn shame, ain't it? It's not like she been homeschooling him. Go to public school. Shameful. R.J. Ramrod. All right, Johnson. Hey, man, this is a family order. What are you talking about there, Johnson? It wouldn't be a bad idea for this anonymous call to see if she can connect with someone with a black mentor who can talk to him about the things she'll never come up against out there in the real world. Give it up. Fortitude. Self-taught artists came back through again. Niecy Moby in the house. Big Rush in the house. The expectations of Nina Turner is she's the second coming of Jesus. So she's only one woman who will be fighting alone in Congress if she wins. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's like this, yo. There are those people. Some people put all the world's weight on one person, Nina Turner. And other people say, because this person, I don't like what this person did, I'm not helping this person. They're different people. Let's just say you're right about this other person. I'm not even conceding that you are. Well, let's say you are. What's this person got to do with this person? Come on, man. That ain't how we do people, man. We don't do that. That shouldn't be how we do people. Just say you checked out of politics. What I get. But you do realize this is a political show. So we do social issues, but we also do politics. So I'm not going to start talking about politics. Got me? So I think it's people are frustrated. Save the world, Nina, and I don't trust nobody. That's all frustration. Because if the world doesn't need to be saved, if things are going like people, we had enough people, doing the right thing or doing what they could to fight the system, we wouldn't need an Nina Turner. We wouldn't be putting all this on it. Because we know it didn't get this way because of one person. William McGregor in the house says, William said, I don't mean fight the cops literally. He ain't trying to get a shot. Will said, nah, man, hold on. Let me clear this up. Will said, let me clear it up. I don't mean fighting the police literally. I'm suggesting taking protests to the burbs where the wealthy white eyes will keep the cops at back. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And believe me, there were some people protesting all over the country. There were people protesting in the burbs, bro. That's what I'm saying. People, don't get me wrong. I started this show saying that the George Floyd murder did not change the world. But it did open some people's eyes. It really did. There are people who saw that who were like, and now we got to get some change. While that sentiment is still fresh. And that's why I don't like hollow, performative, shenanigans, fakery, symbolism. I want some actual hard-nosed tangibles. Because that's what time it is. It's always been that time. But that's what we need to demand. Feel what I'm saying? Feel you, William. And it's cool, man, if you want to clarify yourself, Scott Listen said, Mama Alaska nailed it. In Citizens United. Somebody else said it too. They was like, a politician's job is to get elected, to get more money to get elected, to win re-election. And then after you win re-election, it's to get more money to win re-election. And if you get re-elected again, your job is to get re-elected. You do that by even getting more money. All right, guys. Thank you, Wolfpack. It wasn't me. Rep 1. Wolfpack, guys, I love you. I stand up for you. Stand up for me out there in those cold internet streets, in those Twitter streets, in those Facebook streets, in the Twitch streets. You know what I mean? Have my back. Come find me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Tim Black at Night on Instagram. That's it. That's all. We did all right tonight, right? You guys good? All right now. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Sprinkle some facts on. What's that? Let me ask you something. There ain't nowhere, when I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain, to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. It's too far away. He can't see us. He can't feel us. He can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.